Have you ever felt like you didn't quite fit in? Like you were always on the outside looking in, no matter how hard you tried to blend in? Like society had a specific mold, and you were just slightly off? As if there was an invisible barrier keeping you from truly connecting with others? These feelings are not uncommon, especially for women. Many women experience this sense of disconnection and unease in various stages of their lives. From a young age, girls are often bombarded with messages about who they should be and how they should act. These messages come from media, family, and even peers. These expectations can be limiting, frustrating, and ultimately harmful. They create a narrow path that many feel pressured to follow, often at the expense of their true selves. Why is it that women, in particular, often find themselves wrestling with these societal expectations? What is it about our culture that perpetuates these limiting beliefs? To understand this phenomenon, we need to delve into the concept of otherness. This concept helps us see how women are often positioned as the other in a male-dominated society. This idea, explored in depth by philosopher and feminist Simone de Beauvoir, provides a framework for understanding the unique challenges women face in a world often defined by men. Her work sheds light on the systemic nature of these issues. By examining the historical and contemporary manifestations of otherness, we can begin to dismantle the structures that limit women's potential and strive for a more equitable future. This journey requires collective effort and a commitment to change. In her groundbreaking work, Simone de Beauvoir argues that throughout history, man has been considered the default, the standard, the one. Woman, in contrast, has been relegated to the position of the other, the secondary, the defined in relation to man, not in her own right. This concept of otherness is not merely about difference. It is about a power dynamic where one group, men, holds the power to define and categorize another, women. This othering of women has profound implications for how they are perceived and treated in society. It shapes their experiences and interactions on multiple levels. It influences everything from their access to education and job opportunities to their roles in the family and their representation in media and culture. The pervasive nature of otherness affects their self-perception and societal expectations. By understanding the concept of otherness, we can begin to unravel the complex web of societal norms and expectations that limit women's freedom and agency. This understanding is crucial for fostering a more equitable and inclusive society where everyone can thrive. Throughout history, the concept of otherness has manifested in various ways, shaping women's lives and experiences. From ancient civilizations to the modern era, women have often been confined to the domestic sphere, expected to be wives and mothers first and foremost. Their contributions to society have often been undervalued or ignored, their voices silenced. Consider, for example, the historical exclusion of women from higher education. For centuries, women were denied access to universities, their intellectual capabilities deemed inferior to men's. This denial of education served to maintain the existing power structure, keeping women reliant on men and limiting their opportunities for personal and professional growth. The consequences of being designated as the other are far-reaching. It impacts not only how women are treated by society, but also how they view themselves. Constantly being told, implicitly or explicitly, that they are not the norm, that they are somehow less than, can have a devastating impact on women's self-esteem and self-worth. This internalization of otherness can lead to a lack of confidence, a reluctance to speak up, and a sense of not belonging. It can also contribute to the imposter syndrome that many women experience, where they doubt their accomplishments and feel like frauds despite evidence of their competence. Section 5. Modern manifestations of otherness. While progress has undoubtedly been made in recent decades, the legacy of otherness continues to cast a long shadow on women's lives. From the gender pay gap to the underrepresentation of women in leadership positions, the effects of otherness are still deeply entrenched in our societies. Consider the media's portrayal of women, which often reinforces traditional gender roles and stereotypes. Women are frequently objectified and sexualized, their worth determined by their physical appearance rather than their intelligence, skills, or accomplishments. This constant bombardment of unrealistic and often harmful images can have a negative impact on women's body image and self-esteem. Section 6. Challenging the narrative, a call to action. It is time to challenge the narrative that relegates women to the realm of otherness. We must recognize that women are not defined by their differences from men, but by their own unique strengths, perspectives, and experiences. It is time to celebrate diversity and recognize the value that women bring to all aspects of society. This shift in perspective requires a collective effort. We must all commit to examining our own biases and prejudices, challenging discriminatory practices, and advocating for policies that promote gender equality. Section 7. Breaking free from the chains of otherness. Breaking free from the chains of otherness requires a multi-pronged approach. It starts with education, which is the foundation of change. We need to teach young girls and boys about the history of gender inequality and the harmful effects of otherness. This education should be comprehensive, covering various aspects of gender roles and stereotypes. We need to provide them with the tools and resources to challenge gender stereotypes and advocate for themselves and others. Workshops, interactive sessions, and access to diverse literature can play a crucial role in this. It also requires us to address the systemic barriers that prevent women from achieving their full potential. These barriers are deeply rooted in societal norms and institutional practices. This includes closing the gender pay gap, providing affordable childcare, and addressing workplace discrimination. Policies need to be enforced to ensure fair treatment and equal opportunities for all. By creating a more equitable society, we can empower women to break free from the limitations imposed by otherness and reach their full potential. Together, we can build a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Section 8. Embracing equality, a future free from otherness. Imagine a world where otherness is a relic of the past, a world where women are no longer defined in relation to men, but are free to define themselves on their own terms. A world where women and men are equal partners, working together to create a more just and equitable society for all. This vision may seem idealistic, but it is not unattainable. By working together, we can create a future where otherness is no longer a barrier to women's progress. A future where all individuals, regardless of gender, are valued for their unique contributions and have the opportunity to thrive. Section 9. Join the movement. Let's create a better world. The journey towards a world free from otherness is a collective one. It requires each and every one of us to examine our own biases, challenge discriminatory practices, and advocate for change. Let us raise our voices in unison, demanding equality and justice for all. Share this message with your friends, family, and colleagues. Start conversations about otherness and its impact on women's lives. Together, we can create a world where all individuals are valued, respected, and empowered to reach their full potential. Let us be the generation that finally breaks down the barriers of otherness and creates a more just and equitable world for all. Pause 3's Section 10. The Power of Unity. The journey towards a world free from otherness is a collective one. It requires each and every one of us to examine our own biases, challenge discriminatory practices, and advocate for change. Let us raise our voices in unison, demanding equality and justice for all. Share this message with your friends, family, and colleagues. Start conversations about otherness and its impact on women's lives. Together, we can create a world where all individuals are valued, respected, and empowered to reach their full potential. Let us be the generation that finally breaks down the barriers of otherness and creates a more just and equitable world for all. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to watch my other videos as well. Pause 2's. Thank you for being part of this important conversation. Together, we can make a difference. Pause 2's. Until next time, let's continue to advocate for a world free from otherness. Pause 2's. See you in the next video. Pause 2's. Stay inspired, stay united. Pause 2's. Goodbye.